Ladies and gents, boys and girls, today I bring you the W204 C63 Amg. Really, this is a car that needs no introduction. What a beast of a car this is. The C63, which features the M156 V8 engine, which, believe it or not, designed by Wolf Zimmermann, is absolutely a beast of an engine, which was down-tuned to 457 brake horsepower in the C class, just so it doesn't beat its bigger brother, the E class E63. And would you believe Wolf Zimmermann now is the head designer of Ferrari F1 engines? That's how special this engine is, designed by a man with such high standards and expectations. But the car truly shows that, and what a great car this is. We'll go around the car, we'll take you for a drive. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'll show you around this car. It's had some really nice modifications, and I mean, it speaks for itself. Look at it, it's an absolute beast. And what a monster of a car. The 457 brake horsepower stock, unless you go for the performance package, you then get the 507 brake, which is the same as the E63. But this car is actually producing more than that. We'll go through that in a minute. Check out the car, have a look, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But what a beast of a car this is. We'll take it for a drive and we'll take it from there.
डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार है नी मेरे डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार है डब बत्ती बोर थले काली मेरे डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार है बैठे कार विच मेरे चुणवे जे यार नी ए वड खान पैंदे पंगे जान जा लैंदे असी बैठे आ बिठाया बंदे उठने नहीं देंदे लैंदे मिंटो मिंट पटना तू हस बल्लीए किड़ा करदा ए तंग मैनू दस बल्लीए साडे मैट्रिक च आउंदी ना पुलिस बल्लीए करदा ए तंग किड़ा दस बल्लीए जट गैंग नहीं बनाउंदे गैंगा रन करदे वैपन रखिया चढ़दे तो चढ़दे नहीं जिथे चलदे रकाने पूरी लहर फड़दे बंदे जिगरे वाले आ साडे नाल खड़दे नहीं दिन ढलदे ही हो जे शुरू दिन बल्लीए किन्ने टक ने पिंडे ते ना तू गिण बल्लीए होया वैल पूना करदे नू चिर बल्लीए मिंट लगदा नहीं खोलदा ही सिर बल्लीए नहीं सिर पर्चे बथेरे बुकदे आ यार दे काले शीशे कराए बेलो काली कार दे जांदा 10 के जदों भी जट जावे मारते खेड़ मकाईए जट पहली सार दे कते चलदे ने मुੱਢ ਤੋਂ ਜਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਨੀ शहर तेरे भावें साडा नाम पुछ ली ना चलदा ए टॉप उत्ते तेरा यार उतो मोढे नाल मोढा जोड़ खड़े यार नी मेरे डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार डब बत्ती बोर थले ओ मेरे डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार है डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार बन के बंडाने तेरे घुमदे आ शहर पैर पटदे आ जिथे उत्थे पैंदा दिसे वैर वैर शौक नाल पूरदे आ पुत जट दे तेरी सोच नालों नीवी यार गड्डी रखदे नी गड्डी चमकदी पूरी उत्तों रिम चमके सेंटर च दिसदा रुमाल लमके नी पट्टू तुरदे आ सड़क प्यो दी मन के असी ठोकदे नी बंदा कदे टाइम बन के नी बंदा डक लैने आ घरों चक लैने आ बिलो अख लाल रखी पाड़े अख लैने आ ने फिर शक पैंदे आ जे को करदा गदारी साडे नाल पुत वैर नाले यारी दोवें माड़ी माड़ी करदे आ रज के जे आई उत्ते आए ओट दे परिंदे किन्ने फड़ के बिठाए मोरा वांग ने नचाए कम आर पार सीट उत्ते बंदे खानी ना को बैठी ना रहनी मेरे डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार डब बत्ती बोर थले ओ मेरे डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार है डब बत्ती बोर थले आर पार सीट उत्ते बंदे खानी ना को बैठी ना रहनी मेरे डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार डब बत्ती बोर थले ओ मेरे डब बत्ती बोर थले काली कार है डब बत्ती बोर थले
So, Mercedes C63 AMG W204. So this particular car is standing at 556 brake horsepower. It's had a stage 2 remap and the secondary cats have been removed. The remap was a pops and bangs map, which you will hear when we're driving it. It sounds absolutely amazing. It's had the satin chrome wrap, which looks absolutely fantastic, and as you can see, underlining the whole bottom of the car, bordering a beautiful carbon kit which has been put on, and it had to actually be ordered from Dubai, this one. It's actually pure original carbon. It's not one of those wrapped up sort of setups. It's a proper full carbon setup. It was imported from Dubai to be put on this car. Absolutely lovely, fully lowered on H&R suspension, and spaced out with 10mm spaces on the front and 15mm on the back, which has given it such a beautiful stance. As you can see, sits very well and looks absolutely fantastic. Full privacy glass all the way around, and it's had the D-chrome badges on the sides and on the back, and it's been fully D-chromed all the way around. And obviously you can see it's had a few of the little bits and bobs that are on the car, which do make it look nice. But you know, let's have a look around it and we'll see what you guys think. So obviously the vents put on the top as well, the carbon vents on the full satin wrap, and the headlights have been all fully tinted as well. I mean, these carbon features, they just absolutely bring the car out. I think they look absolutely fantastic. Generally, looking at the way the car sits, it's just beautiful. Look at it. I mean, just look at that. For a car, I mean, this car is a 2014 model. They originally started a lot earlier than that, but they were facelifted in 2011. This is a facelift model. They were slightly better than the pre-facelifts, and the sport packages came with a limited slip differential and much better braking system and a lot sort of better suspension setup. They're not the most comfortable cars to drive, and that is one of the disadvantages of the C-Class, but there's a lot of other things that compensate for that, which do make it look nice. And as you can see with the wrap there, it's had a nice decals on the side, which do bring the car out. All the chrome has been blacked out, and generally the car is set up. I don't think you can make it look any better than this. It's just looks absolutely fantastic, the perfect setup. And you look at them chrome exhaust tips on the back, full AMG, not none of the stuff they put on these days where it's all just covers. These are the full Monty, the proper job. C63 AMG, and I think with the 6.3 litre engine, probably one of the last decent Mercedes naturally aspirated engines, really, to be honest. After this, a lot of them became sort of twin turbos and whatnot, but smaller engines as well. You know, Mercedes is now going to more 3 litre twin turbos and 4 litres and things like that. But this is one of them engines which is really the perfect setup. Moving inside the car, they do have a beautiful interior as well. The clocks, the dials there have all the AMG setup on them. Obviously, compared to the more modern Mercedes with the massive screens going across, they're not as pretty as them, but otherwise nice sports seats. You can see how deep those are, almost like buckets. This car has the LED steering as well fitted, which you can see now. And you just hear that exhaust sound, and then you can hear those pops and bangs, and that's on light revs. And that LED steering wheel lighting up lovely. And the best thing about this car, 4 doors, easily carry 5 passengers. I mean, that's my seat right to the back, so you'll get somebody in there just about. I could adjust it a little bit more forward, but you'll carry 5 people in there, no problem at all. Absolutely fantastic, really. This car has it all, ticks all the boxes. Nice 19-inch AMGs, and this one's dressed with Michelin PS4s, which I think is the best set of tyres you can put on one of these in terms of grip. You ain't going to get much better than this. And look at them brake discs. Look at the size of the wheel, absolutely beautiful. And you know, when you got an engine like that and a car like this which is producing 560 brake, you need a good set of brakes, and I don't think you're going to complain with them. But generally this car, it's an absolute beast. We'll take it for a drive now, see what you guys think. So guys, the C63 AMG W204, the exciting bit now. Take it for a little whirl, see what we think. I have driven this one before and it is absolutely shocking. We're in comfort at the moment. When you drive this car in comfort, it starts in second gear just to give you a more comfortable pull away and a slightly better drive. But pull away now, we're taking easy just to see how it is. I mean, if you're driving it comfortably, it's quite nice, but you can hear that exhaust horn straight away, and it is nice. It does sound good. I'm going to close that sunroof just so that we're not getting too much wind noise. Probably better to open that, actually lights a bit better. And this LED shift steering wheel, I mean, if you haven't got one of these in your car, it's a must have. It just looks absolutely fantastic. The carbon feel of it and the Alcantara on the grips is just beautiful, and these carbon shift paddles, just absolutely fantastic. But I mean, if you want to just drive it comfortably, you can. It's like driving a standard, maybe like a 500 or something. It's that comfortable, and it doesn't sort of stick out too much like a sore thumb, although this one does because of the colour and the setup. But otherwise it's quite nice, and just looking for a bit of stretch of road really, so I can have some fun. At the moment I'm following somebody who's doing about 10 miles per hour, and we do get these occasionally on the Sunday mornings, you know. You've always been down a country lane where you've got a guy in front of you who's doing 20 miles an hour on a 50 mile an hour road. Yeah, you know, can't argue with them, just leave them to it, are you? But anyway, like I said, we'll start in comfort, we'll take for a ride, see if we get a nice little stretch here. We can go past this guy, and I mean, seriously, this is a 50 mile an hour road and this guy is literally doing 20 miles an hour. Alright, let's open up a bit. Oh, even in comfort, fantastic. Oh, you hear them bumps? Okay, now. And this is in comfort. Beautiful. Wow, just wow. This thing is on fire. And I mean, people say that it's one of the cons of the C63 is this suspension, but this, it feels absolutely fantastic. Oh, that exhaust sound, the rush it gives you. Oh my god, that is beautiful. I ain't gonna waste too much time. I'm gonna drop it into Sport, lads, because it's what everyone wants to see. And in fact, I'm gonna go Sport Plus, so have a bit more fun. The ESP on this is fantastic. It has 3 settings. You can put it in ESP off, you can put it in the normal ESP, so you get your full traction control, or you can put it in a sport mode, which gives you a bit of everything, which I think is fantastic. But we're in Sport Plus now, so cruising down, drop it down to 3rd gear, and off the mark. Fuck that thing, oh my god. You just see, oh, this thing, this is a tool. Oh my god, oh my, just eating up the road, absolutely eating it up. You know what, I'm going to drop that window a little bit so you can hear it, hear that sound. It's just, oh my god. You know what, I wanted to talk about the car, guys, but let me just do this first and then I'll talk about it in a minute. There's no lag whatsoever. The car just just wants to go. It's like, just let me go. Oh, and then pops his 4 Plus. Okay, now, if there's anyone behind you, they're going to be like, what a nuisance. Lovely bit of road here, to be honest. And I would say if we're going to drive that is absolutely beautiful. The sound of this thing, oh my, I mean, this car has actually, it's got a pops and bangs VMAT, but it's actually been down mapped, if you know what I mean, in terms of the pops and bangs, because originally the sound of this car was just, it was too much. You couldn't drive it in comfort and have no sound. Well, now you can, and if you put it in Sport Plus and you run all this, it's there. So you've now got the best of both worlds. But if you're going to map one of these, make sure you go to the right place. There's a few good companies who do them. Obviously, do your research, and if you need any information of where this was done, drop me a question in the comments below, and I can let you know who did it and exactly how it was done. But generally, this car, I mean, just it's like it's really, it's the big daddy of cars, ain't it? I mean, you could drive all these hot hatches and you could drive the smaller engines, and they're fun to drive, but this thing is giving you power of a proper 6.3 V8 engine, and naturally aspirated, so there's no turbo lag, no nothing, none of that crap. It's just pure brute force. I mean, when this engine was designed, Wolf Zimmerman must have thought, you know what, I want to make a brutal engine, and that's exactly what he's done with the C63. I mean, I've driven some of the newer ones, which are sort of between turbos and what, and they're fast, but you just don't have this feeling. It's just so brutal, I mean, if Bush had gone to Afghanistan and found this car, it would have been declared a weapon of mass destruction, because that's exactly what it is. This thing is a monster, an absolute monster. I mean, I have to admit, I had a Porsche Panamera Turbo, and no word of a lie, that car was fast and everything, and I used to love driving it. It was comfortable, but it wasn't this. This is a different feeling altogether. You won't get this feeling in anything else, and there's just something about the way this engine's been designed that it has that sound, that power, and that capability. And I'll tell you another thing about the C63. Everybody that's had one, and I've spoken to them, if they've sold it, they regret selling it, and if they haven't sold it and they've still got it, they absolutely love it. And the amount of people that have approached me in this car when I've driven it, and they've said to me, oh, I had one of them, what a car that is, fantastic car. And if you're thinking about buying one, or maybe you're thinking, is it a good investment? I mean, I think where they are now is probably, they've actually slightly gone back up, but I don't think they're going to go any lower. They're not going to depreciate any, they're only going to go up from here. So I think in terms of an investment, it's a fantastic investment. And I mean, I would, if it was myself buying one, I would go for a facelift. I won't buy a pre-facelift. And if you can get the performance package, then yeah, go for it. But if not, there's plenty of maps out there to bring this car well above the performance package ratings. So I mean, if you can get one with a sport pack and a decent low mileage, I mean, this car has only done about 60,000, which is good for the car it is. And a really good example, it's a 2014, so it's an end of line model. I think the last ones they produced were 2015, but they are quite harder to get, the older one, the newer ones. But it's one of them. If you want one and you're willing to spend that little bit more money, then it's worth going for. But I got another one of them guys in front of me who's doing about 20 miles an hour, so I'm just chilling out a little bit, and then we'll take it around and we'll give it another blast. Might just turn around actually. Right guys, back again. So the reason I stopped there, funnily enough, Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, and driving down these country lanes, not driving slowly, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Got pulled over by the police. So this copper pulls me over and he says, "That's a nice car you're driving." I says, "Yeah." And he said, "Can I check your insurance please, and what your name is and whatnot?" So I said, "All right, fine, no problem." So anyway, it's not my car, so obviously it's not registered on my name, so he's asking me another 100 questions. And me, Sunday morning, I've just got up and bought no ID with me, nothing, so now he's getting even more worried. And he's asking me if he can show him a Facebook account or something with my details on it. Well, luckily I had a photo of my passport on my phone, so I managed to show him and convince him that it's me. And it's not my car, but I'm doing a video for my channel, so you know, it was all good, and my insurance was covered, so you know, we got there in the end. But anyway, yeah. And a funny thing, when he was going, he says, comment he made, which absolutely made me crack up. He said, "I'm glad you didn't try and run, because I wouldn't have caught you in my car." I thought that was a bit of a joke, but fair play to him. But that was a nice little experience for a Sunday morning in a C63, which has got a lot of modifications which are not, how do I say it, not sort of legally just, if you like. But you know, not saying too much. He was quite a nice guy and checked everything out, and was just more concerned if the vehicle was stolen or not or anything like that, which is fair play to him, you know. And I'm glad it all went well. But yeah, back in the car. So the V63, absolute monster of a car. In comfort again. We're going to drop him back into Sport Plus because we was having a bit of fun there before we got pulled. Fantastic car. Yeah, like I said, 1.156 engine being the V8. It's an absolute beauty. Only thing with this particular car is it's got that carbon splitter on the front, and these country lanes ain't the smoothest, so you got to be careful. If you're going to put something like that on, you got to be careful where you drive it and how you drive it. You don't want to go where there's too many speed bumps, because believe me, you lose that splitter and you've lost £1,000 probably, and the rest. But yeah, driving it now, yeah, we got a nice little stretch here. There we go. Let's open her out again. Oh, unbelievable. Wow, just keeps want to go. Really, I mean, you need a runway to test this car. It's that fast, and it's an exhilarating drive. If you're thinking about getting a C63, lads, believe me, there's nothing to worry about. I'd go for it. Just find the right one, make sure the engine's good, make sure it drives good, and take it. It's an absolute beauty of a car. I wouldn't be worried even one bit. I think what I want to do really is give this a blast from zero, because we're doing all these sort of rolling starts from about 2030, and it'd be nice to see how it feels. The great thing about this engine is because you've got so much power going to the back wheels, you can pull the back end out, and that's the fun bit about it. If you enjoy a bit of drift, this is the car that will do it. Put that traction control into sport, which I'm going to do now. So we've got ESP, and that there now has put it into ESP sport handling mode. And even though we're in Sport Plus, there's another setting here which is RS, which is some sort of a race mode, and you can put it in that and get even a bit more fun. It'd be lovely to see how this car is around the track. Maybe one day we can do a track day in this. That would definitely be a bit of fun. But yeah, I mean, these are supposed to do 0 to 60 in about 3.9 seconds stock. I reckon this one's probably doing it lower than that, but I've got a drag in. I will whip it on in a bit, and we'll have a separate video for that. I won't do that in here, but we'll do a draggy run on it and see how it performs from 0 to 60. But you'll probably get to 60 in first gear in this. It's that quick, and the Sport Plus will allow you to pull away in first gear. If you're in comfort, then obviously second gear. But one thing I must stress with C63s is before you drive them, or before you rev the arse off it, make sure it's warm, because they're big engines. When you start them up cold, you will feel how groggy they are, because when you start them up, they rev a bit here and there, and you know, they're always a little bit reluctant to run good when they're cold. So really, it is the situation with every car, but with these bigger petrol engines, I think it's very important to warm them up to temperature before you start blasting them, you know. So I've seen a lot of people who will start it up and rev it up cold just to show off with it, but it ain't going to do your engine any favors, mate. Before you know it, you'll have head gasket issues, and that ain't going to be cheap on one of these. So, you know, avoid that situation if you can. But generally, I think it's a fantastic car, and I think it's a beast of a drive. I'm just finding a place to stop so that we can launch this from 60, and then we'll see how it goes. I don't want to blast it because in front of me I've got a horse box with a horse in there, and I think the pops and bangs might scare him a little bit. So, you know, we're animal friendly at Rainzell Performance, so we're not going to do no pops and bangs for the horse in front. I don't want him to get scared, you know. But this car definitely not for the faint-hearted, and I think definitely go seat cover for the passenger seat, because there's a good chance that the passenger will shit himself. If he doesn't do it with the power, he'll do it with the sound. So be careful on that side as well. A bit of humour for a Sunday morning, can't complain, can you? Yeah, so let me find this dig, and then we'll go from a dig and we'll see how it goes, yeah? So we've found somewhere where we can stop and just put it into drive. We're in Sport Plus, and we've got the ESP in sport handling mode. We're going to go launch it from 0 and see how we go, and see how this feels. Sport Plus, right lads, here we go. I won't do a launch control, but we'll go out full from here. That back end is just wow. You can hear my draggy going off there, but yeah, it's definitely got enough, and it's stupid amounts of power. I don't know why you'd want any more than this. It is just plenty more. Absolute boom to drive. Fantastic drivability, fantastic. I think handling's perfect as well. I don't think there's any issues in terms of comfort. The only disadvantage that I can find of this car is the fuel economy. It's gone from half a tank to below quarter tank in that little drive we've just done. I mean, they reckon that it'll do 17 to 20 mpg, but if you ask me, you'd be lucky to get 10 mpg out of this car. I mean, don't blame the way I'm driving it, but that's the truth. That's the mpg you're gonna get. Just seen that copper drive past again. He's looking at me. Hopefully don't turn around and tell me something else. But yeah, like I said, I can't find it in here now, but you'll be lucky to get let's see what it's doing at the moment. Yeah, no, I can't find it. There is the trip computer, but I mean, I'll be very surprised if this is giving you any more than 10 miles per gallon, because I mean, you're gonna buy a C63, let's face it, most times you're gonna drive it like you stole it. And I mean, if you're gonna tell me now that nah, I'm buying a C63 to drive comfortably and enjoy on country lanes, then I feel sorry for you, because this is a car that needs to be enjoyed. and you can have a little play. But yeah, overall, you know, if you got any questions, drop them in the comments below. When I stop, I'll show you the engine bay as well, just to show you how it looks, and we'll hear a few of those pops and bangs from outside at idle. But I got no complaints with this car. I think it's an absolute beast of a car. I'm going to carry on and have a bit more fun with it. So I found an open stretch of road. I think more than anything, this scares worse the drivers on the road slow down. The downshifts and then the pops is what makes this car so amazing. Even when this car was stock, I drove it when we had just bought it, and it was bought off an owner who kept it completely original, did not change a single thing on it. And I drove it then, and it was quick, and you know, I didn't have any complaints with the power of it, but it didn't have that feeling. And the exhaust did used to pop and bang on Sport Plus, but very little, just on downshifts. But the way it's set up now, I mean, let's just hear that again. On them downshifts, the way it pops, and just look at it going around these bends. I mean, the weather's nice and dry at the moment, so you can have a little play on these country lanes. I was going now, but I've just started having a bit more fun, which is normally the case, ain't it? You find a bit of country lanes and that's it, you're off. Well, guys, we'll see you guys again soon, and signing out, Rain's on Performance. I will show you the engine bay and everything when we stop, and then we'll go through we'll have a little sound of them exhaust before we go, and we'll take it from there. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for your time, and also thank you everybody who's been sending me requests to review their car. I will get around here, don't think I forgot you. I'm just looking for a balance between good weather and good time, and obviously time that suits you. I know there's about 4 or 5 of you in the pipeline waiting, but let me know if you guys have anything special, and I've got you booked in within the next 4 or 5 weeks. We'll have them done. So everybody, guys, hit that bell icon so you get the videos as soon as they come up, and we got plenty more videos coming through. I got some more videos on the C63. We'll do a draggy video as well, so you can see what it's actually doing 0-16 with the mods, and we'll take it from there. See you guys soon, all the best.
So there you have it, chaps, the mighty M156, built by AMG Wolf Zimmerman, and features a 6.2 litre V8. Absolute beast of an engine. I don't want to touch it because it's piping hot at the moment, but there's all of it there, right there in front of you. So we'll see you soon on the next video. Take care, see you soon. Thank you very much for watching. All the best.